We're here a few days before the opening of our exhibition, Gustav Stickley and the American Arts and Crafts Movement, an exhibition organized by the Dallas Museum of Art, which was also shown in Newark before coming here to San Diego, where the San Diego Museum of Art will be its final venue. The show explores the work of Gustav Stickley, who's probably the most important figure when you consider the American Arts and Crafts Movement. There were lots of furniture makers and craft societies in America in the early years of the 20th century. But Stickley, through his very successful furniture company, and equally through his magazine, The Craftsman, which gave an ideology to the movement, a philosophy to the movement, which explained the ideas behind the furniture and the furnishings that went into craftsman homes. Stickley is the person who formulated the ideals of the movement and helped its rapid expansion in America between about 1900 and the First World War. The arts and crafts movement started in England, especially in the philosophy and the textiles and furnishings designed by people like William Morris. The ideas, though, came to America with Stickley, and beginning with his new furniture catalog in 1900 and 1901, he started to produce furniture that was based on William Morris's philosophy. Simple designs, simple materials, furniture that was solid and that would last, that didn't have gratuitous ornament, furniture that could be used to decorate homes of a broad middle class and an emerging middle class in America. Furniture that rejected the cheapness of early industrialization. Typical of Stickley's furniture is his choice of materials. He preferred to use oak. You won't see a lot of gilding. You won't see any gilding. You'll see a little bit of metal inlay. You'll see relatively simple fabrics without pattern. You'll see leather. It was furniture that was meant to be appreciated according to the taste of its design and not because of its expensive materials and elaborate ornamentation. There are about 100 pieces in the exhibition that includes furniture, textiles, architectural drawings, and metalwork, most of which come from private collections, so this is really the only chance to see them. There are a few major private collections which contribute most of the works or a majority of the works in the show. There are also pieces from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, and of course the Dallas Museum of Art, which organized the exhibition. The exhibition opens with a selection of furniture from Stickley's 1900-1901 new furniture catalog. This is the first line that he produced in accordance with his conscious design philosophy. This is the furniture that derives most clearly from English and French arts and crafts and Art Nouveau models. Much of it is simple, unelaborated form. You see the evidence of its construction. You see the joins. You see mortise and tenon joins. You see the structure that holds these pieces of furniture together. That's part of the functional honesty that Stickley really advocated both in his furniture catalogs and in the Craftsman magazine. There is none of the inlay or extra decoration that you'll see later. As the exhibition goes on, you'll even see his furniture become lighter in design in response to demands of the marketplace. But in the first few displays of furniture from 1900, 1901, 1902, you see what most people think of as the quintessential Stickley form, the heavy oak and ash furniture that looks like it was built to last, that shows the evidence of its construction in simple forms: rockers, reclining chairs, library tables, and cabinets and settles like those behind me right now. I'm standing in the core of the exhibition, the recreation of a model dining room that Stickley set up for his 1903 Arts and Crafts exhibition in Syracuse. And this is, in many ways, the fullest expression of Stickley's design aesthetic for an interior. It includes furniture produced by his firm, but also pottery from the Gruby Faience Company of Boston, textiles, a rug. Even the wall panels replicate those which Stickley used in the 1903 exhibition. It's a grander space than would have been found even in homes that Stickley designed, even than would have been found in his own home, although he did live with the corner dining cabinet behind me, which remains in the collection of his granddaughter. Still, for all of its grandeur, the dining room installation shows the basic precepts of Stickley's philosophy. He believed that the dining table was one of the hearts of the home. And so you have typically this broad oak table decorated with a selection of tableware and table linens, all very much in one aesthetic. And his magazine, The Craftsman, explained the ideas behind these selections. In addition to the table, you have these chairs with their leather backs and the leather screen. This is something else you'll see throughout the exhibition. The rich leather seats of chairs or even leather screens appear several times through the exhibition. The copper candlesticks and trays behind me as well, something produced by Stickley's company and something that Stickley in The Craftsman encouraged some of his readers to create on their own. That handmade aesthetic is very much a part of the arts and crafts movement. The idea that you could produce these things on your own. You didn't need to buy them from some industrial company. His firm did use factories to produce its chairs, but they were hand-assembled and hand-finished by his workmen. And this was, in a way, the best of both worlds. It allowed his furnishings to be purchased by a broad selection of the middle class, yet they were not cheaply made. They were objects that had real designs and real craftsmen behind them. One part of the exhibition that will be a surprise for people who are familiar with Stickley's furniture is the section with furniture that has a lot of inlaid decoration. We like to think of Stickley as someone who made relatively simple, heavy, unelaborate or unornamented chairs, and yet there's a whole section of the exhibition that shows the evolution of his design and the addition to his furniture line of inlay in metal and other woods. On the one hand, this furniture does seem to be at odds with Stickley's simple design aesthetic, which calls for a lack of ornamentation. On the other hand, it was something that was necessary for Stickley to maintain the commercial aspect of his enterprise. He was trying to make a profit with this furniture, and this is what his consumers wanted. So he defended the designs in the Craftsman magazine by explaining that this was design that came from within rather than something that was applied to his furniture. It is part of the story of Stickley, this give and take between a high-minded philosophy and the practical necessities of a commercial furniture maker. And so to have an exhibition without these works would not tell the whole story. Besides which, they are some of the finest pieces of furniture that his firm produced, so we're happy to have them here. Gustav Stickley and the American Arts and Crafts Movement will be on at the San Diego Museum of Art from June 18th to September 11th, 2011.